Hello, hello, my style icons. Welcome back to Life and Style with Brianna Cantore. That is me, and Brooklyn's here today. If you're watching, she's my beautiful, furry baby girl and the light of my life. And this is your mental vacation, the best destination to be besides maybe Tokyo. I was blessed to travel to Tokyo once back in 2019, I believe it was. And man, it was so beautiful. I don't think people really understand how beautiful the Japanese culture is and how kind they are and how amazing Tokyo is. We had the best matcha, of course, and exploring the streets and the streetwear and the fashion, the best sneakers, the coolest sneakers I've ever seen in my life. I loved Tokyo, and I would be honored and blessed to be able to get back there someday. So, with that being said, and on the topic of travel, today's episode is titled Out of Office. We're going to talk about oh, Brooklyn's done. We're going to talk about all of the things that I'm bringing with me on my upcoming travel, things I'm packing, things I purchased for the trip, where I'm going, what I bring on the airplane, etc. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm really super excited because I'm going to Europe in a few weeks and I'm going with my sister. She's never been to Europe before, so this is going to be the trip of a lifetime. Our first stop is Rome, Italy. We are Italian American, and it was just a great starting point, a great city for her to see and get a little taste of Italy before we then go to Lisbon and Comporta in Portugal to meet up with my dad and my stepmom and her mom. So that's going to be super fun. So we have two different cities, well, kind of three, because we're doing Rome, then we're going to Comporta, and then Lisbon for a day or two. So three different cities, three different vibes, and obviously a ton of stuff. I do not pack light. I am not the person to go to and say, "How do I pack efficiently for a trip? How do I pack light?" No, that's not me. I bring all of the things. My luggage is always extremely heavy. So, first, I'll talk about what I bring on the airplane. So, because this is a longer airplane travel, I think Rome is about 9 or 10 hours from Newark or JFK, where we're leaving from, something around there. So, because the flight is longer, I like to bring a bag of cosmetic products to take care of my skin in particular on the flight. When I travel to Europe, I like to take night flights so that way we land in the morning and have the whole day, and I utilize the flight to sleep and relax. So in my carry-on cosmetic case on the plane, I purchased the Sophie Pavitt micellar cleansing pads. I think it was an influencer or someone on my feed purchased them for travel, and she definitely influenced me. These are great for prepping your skin to sleep on the flight, removing any oils and product that you may have on. I never wear makeup to the airport, but if you wear makeup, they're also makeup removing pads. And I plan to use those before I put on a sheet mask. I'll put that on after I wipe my skin with those pads. And I'll probably bring the Biodance Real Deep mask. It's their hydrating mask. I love their sheet masks. They're so well made and they have really glass skin promoting ingredients. I always get a really glowy result from them, and they're not too bad in price. They are on Sephora now, and I believe in their stores as well. So I'm gonna restock my Biodance sheet masks. I'll bring a few with me in case I want to do some on the trip as well, but I'll put just one in my carry-on bag. Also in my cosmetic case, I'll bring the U Beauty Super Hydrator. I have a little mini size. There's this sample pack of 4 of their products that I purchased on Amazon, and each of them are just like teeny, teeny, tiny. They kind of look like little sample perfume bottles, but a little bit bigger than that. So I so I'll bring the moisturizer, put that in my cosmetic case, and then also I have a travel size of the U Beauty Barrier Bioactive Mist. That's like a nice hydrating, refreshing mist. So when we're about 30 minutes or so from landing, I'll take the sheet mask off and I'll put on some moisturizer and I'll mist myself as well with that barrier mist. In that cosmetic case also, I'll throw in some sterile hand wipes. I like the medical grade ones so that way I can clean my hands of any bacteria and germs before I'm working on my skin because that would kind of defeat the purpose if I did that with dirty hands. And I'm gonna bring a lip mask as well because I just am so prone to dry lips. And I've been looking for a really good lip mask and one that also is made of clean ingredients, of course. I like to be conscious of that. So I landed on the Osea Dream Lip Mask. I did not purchase this yet, but I'm definitely gonna grab it and add it to my travel cosmetic case for that long trip so that way we keep these lips nice and hydrated. I always have like also a million lip butters and oils in my bags as well. But I think a lip mask could be a nice addition to my little sheet mask routine for the flight. And I'm trying to think anything else. Oh, I'll also throw my toothbrush and some clean toothpaste in there so that way I can brush my teeth before we land because who wants funky teeth and you're on that flight for a while. I'll probably have some snacks. So I'll definitely pack that and I just go into the bathroom with my bottle of water and brush my teeth. And so for cosmetics, I think that's pretty much what will be in my carry-on cosmetics case. Oh, you know what I also did get? The little travel size or well, they are travel size, but it's a little starter kit to try the different scents of the Salt and Stone deodorant. So, not to sound gross, but I don't typically wear deodorant because I just feel like I don't want to clog that area, the armpits. That's where we detox and our body eliminates things, and so I'm personally not that into deodorant, but I did purchase that set because I figured just to have something for when I go out or occasionally want to throw on some deodorant. So maybe I'll put that in my bag as well in case I start to smell a little funky on the flight. I don't know. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to say this and I forgot to write it down. I'll also bring the Magic Molecule Hypochlorous Acid Spray. If you've listened to the skincare episode, you know I love this spray. It literally helps heal any skin condition from acne to rosacea to sunburn. So it's a great thing to pack for travel, but also just having it in my carry-on bag because it helps eliminate, bacteria from your skin. So I will spray that on after I take the sheet mask off and then do the moisturizer and the hydrating mist. Can't believe I forgot that. Glad I caught myself. Okay, so other things that I'll be packing on my carry-on for the airplane, wired headphones, super into just cheap, not the loudest, but wired headphones these days because I heard that they're a little bit better for your brain and your overall health than wearing the Bluetooth wire-free headphones. I just grabbed a pair on Amazon. They were like $10. And I'll also bring my Kindle. I'm getting really back into reading. I'm so on and off with reading, but I really want to stay consistent. I just finished two books. I read David Grutman's book. He is a hospitality mogul and based here in Miami. That was really great, especially if you're an entrepreneur looking to start a brand. I really enjoyed his book. And then I literally just finished this morning Manifest by Roxy. Forget her last name. I'll link it in the show notes, but that was amazing. And I'm definitely going to be implementing her manifest tips. And so I'm kind of on this personal development track of reading. So I'll probably continue that theme and I'll download some books on my Kindle to read. I To be honest, I love a paper book, a tangible book. I love flipping pages. I love looking at the cover art, but they get too heavy when you travel with them. So I just have like the mini Kindle. It's very light. So I'll bring that instead of an actual paperback book. And then obviously, food is and snacks on the plane are so important. I don't rely on the airport to grab my snacks because, well, one, I'm gluten free and dairy free, and I like to stay away from certain ingredients, very health conscious. So I like to bring my own. So I'll typically go to Whole Foods the day before a trip and just search the aisles for any cool and healthy snacks to bring. I always bring protein bars. Um, I found this brand, Stars and Honey protein bars, and it looks like the ingredients are pretty healthy. So I want to read more about them and where to purchase them. I saw them on Amazon. Not sure if Whole Foods stocks them. And Misfits protein bars I've been seeing at Whole Foods, but I don't think I've tried them yet. So I want to look deeper into their ingredients as well. Protein bars are so misleading. Like, there's a lot of them that market themselves as healthy and clean, but are actually filled with really terrible ingredients. So that's one of those items when you're purchasing that you do unfortunately need to flip it over, read all of the ingredients, and if you're not sure what something is, just take a photo, put it into AI, ChatGPT, and see if they can help you out there. I'll also bring some beef sticks. I'm newly eating red meat again, and beef sticks are a great source of protein. Another product that you're gonna want to make sure you buy a good clean brand. Chomps seems to have a good reputation. I don't know of many others because again, I'm newly eating red meat again. Some gluten-free crackers. Always good to have crackers, like Alicia from if you're watching Real Housewives of Rhode Island would say. She's obsessed with crackers, but I'm prone to getting a little bit car sick, actually very car sick. So I'm definitely going to be packing crackers because that kind of offers some immediate relief in case I get nauseous at all, and some chewy ginger candies for that nausea also helps. And that's a nice natural way to combat that feeling. So, gluten free crackers and chewy ginger candies to prevent motion sickness. I'll also obviously to be bringing water. It's so important to stay hydrated on flights, and especially these long flights to Europe, our bodies just become depleted. So even if you have to go to the bathroom a million times, who cares? Drink a lot of water on the plane. And I'll also bring some electrolyte packets in case I'm feeling a little iffy or not, tired when I'm getting off the plane. I have the Parallel electrolyte packets, which seem pretty clean. It's a good brand that I trust for my vitamins. I don't typically use electrolyte packets. I like to get things naturally if I can. So typically I'll just drink coconut water, and I'll also make this kind of like mermaid mocktail, and it's coconut water and some salt and some lemon juice and some collagen, and just a great way for me to get electrolytes. But during travel, coconut water might not be accessible. So I'll bring those packets just in case for me and my sister. And I'll also bring these MTE packets. I saw Melissa Wood Health use them and they looked very interesting. So I just purchased them on Amazon. I'll report back on how they taste and how they affect my body, but they market it as a clean source of energy, caffeine free, and there's ingredients in these packets such as saffron, L-theanine, and ashwagandha, all of which I really love, and they all support the reduction of anxiety. So I thought that would be a great thing to pick up not only to try in my everyday life, but also for my travel. And again, if we land and I'm feeling tired or groggy, I'll throw one of those packets in my water to wake me up a little bit. Because that's the thing, too, is like you want to get on the time zone of the location you're going to, if it's different time zone than your own, as quickly and seamlessly as you can, so you can really enjoy the most out of your trip. So, landing in the morning in Europe, like I just want to go and enjoy the whole day and not go to bed until maybe a little bit earlier that night, like 9 PM than I than we will the other nights, but really enjoy the whole day, be energetic, start immediately walking around and seeing things and living on that time zone. So, no time for naps after landing. We gotta go, go, go. So, I think those packets, MTE, I'll link also the things that I'm speaking about in the show notes, should help us get the energy to go explore. Okay, so packing outfits. Oh my god, I pack so much, but I want to serve looks on vacation. I want to serve looks always. I always want to slay, but especially on vacation, I just want to look and feel my best and take beautiful photos and really just enjoy my surroundings and look good and feel good. So, I'm definitely bringing a lot of different outfit options. And how I've organized this is in a Canva. So I created a Canva presentation and I made a slide for every single day of my trip. One slide for daytime and one slide for nighttime because you better believe that what I'm wearing during the day will change for at night. And I want to serve as many looks as possible. So I made this presentation. I put the outfits on each day. And I also made a slide for what pajamas I'm bringing and what swimwear I'm bringing. So every little thing relating to clothing or accessories that I'm bringing is on this slide. And obviously, sometimes you can't find the photo of what you're bringing because it's something that's been in your closet for a while. So I'll just find a photo that looks like it, that looks like the item, and put it on the slide. This really has helped me refine my vacation looks. I mean, if you're doing a photo shoot, they always have, the lookbooks of the different looks that you'll be wearing. So why not bring that method into your everyday life, especially for your vacation style? So that's how I have laid out what clothing and shoes and accessories I'm bringing, and I don't hold back, to be honest. I bring what I want to bring, even if it's a little bit annoying lugging that luggage around. I truly don't care. I I want to have the clothing with me that I want to wear, and I'm not someone that's gonna wear the same pants 27 times on a trip, three different ways. It's just that's not who I am. I wanna serve as many looks as possible, guys. So, things relating to fashion that I bought for the trip, let's get into that. Of course, I first try to pull from my own wardrobe, and then I look at the Canva, I look at things I wanna purchase for the season anyways, and I determine what and how I wanna fill in my wardrobe and how I want to go about completing the looks for my trip. So I spoke about this in the last episode, but I really want to be rocking some red looks because red is such a huge trend for summer 2026, and I don't really have it in my wardrobe. So I purchased a red cotton midi skirt and a red button up for Rome. I think obviously red is a color of Italy, right? The Italian flag is red, green, and white. So that will be just a fantastic color to wear in Rome. And to be honest, when I'm putting together the looks, the actual place is something I think about. Like, does this give Rome? And a red midi skirt, very dramatic full skirt. The red button up definitely does. And cotton is a great material to wear in Rome in the summer because it's going to be hot as fucking fuck. And so you're going to really want to wear breathable fabrics there. I also purchased a white knit poncho from Monday Swimwear. I've been talking about how ponchos are really an it girl piece of the summer. I didn't have one, so I purchased a white one. I think it will look great with white linen pants. It will also look great with swimwear. And I envision myself wearing this on the trip on my flight from Rome to Portugal to Lisbon and wearing, like I said, white linen pants, the white poncho, oversized sunglasses, a slide on the foot, just really chic airport look, which is always fun. And the poncho will, keep my arms covered on the flight in case that flight is not warm. I also purchased this dress that I'm wearing today for summer in general, but I'm also going to bring it on the trip. It's a short black cotton dress. I love that it has pockets. I can find them right now. Yes. If you're watching, putting my hand in the pockets. It has pockets, so that's great for daytime, just putting your lip gloss or something in there. And it's really breathable, it's lightweight, but it's also very stylish. So I envision myself wearing this on one of our days in Rome, walking around because it's gonna be hot, but I also wanna look put together and pretty, so while we're visiting the beautiful historic sites of Rome, like the Colosseum and the Vatican, I really wanna make sure I look good. I wanna take some photos and stuff, and I'll seriously wear this dress a million times this summer. It's from Dish, Dissh. I'll link it in the episode edit, and I love it. I love the look of it. I also purchased some shoes from Zara. You guys, I love Zara's shoes. They always are so expensive looking. They look like they're designer and they're typically a great price, you know, around like 50 to $60 for a pair of shoes that look like you got them at Saks or Neiman Marcus. So I'm obsessed with their shoes and they're actually really easy to buy on their website. Not everything is because their website isn't the most user friendly, but the shoe section is pretty good. And a feature I like is if I'll go to add a pair to cart and my size is out of stock, it immediately recommends a few other pair that look very similar in style and aesthetic. So I just always have an easy time finding shoes on the Zara website. So I got a leather pair of flip-flops. I also spoke about this in the last episode that we should be wearing them this summer. They look sleek and chic and just an easy pair of shoes to wear, but a little bit more elevated than a regular rubber pair of flip flops. And I also purchased a pair of white kitten heels with a little thong. That's also a trend this summer. And I didn't have a pair, so I think I'll get a ton of use out of those. Shoes is one area that I try not to go too crazy on in packing, but it's also like I want to be wearing the best shoes for the outfit, you know? So bringing solid color pair of shoes so you have, a black option, a white option, a silver option, just a few different options for your looks. that can be worn a few times or how I try to do it. But honestly, sometimes there's just an outfit that needs that funky pair of shoes, and you're like, "Do I do it? Do I not?" And I always just fucking bring them. And then actually today I'm wearing these, I don't know if you can see, but they're from Amazon. They're Project Cloud slides in black, but they look like the Hermes. Now, I don't know how to say this name because I'm not an Hermes person, but Chypre, chipper, chiper, chipe, sandal. They're classic black slide sandal with the little strap going across and the H. um, these look honestly just like it, and they're very comfortable. They were like $50 on Amazon, and I figured they would be not only a great purchase for my everyday life. I'm constantly going through slides because I live in Miami Beach, and me and my dog are always going to the beach, always walking. So I need a pair of slides, and sometimes mine get ruined because people don't pick up their dog poo, and it's disgusting. But anyways, that's why I got these recently, and I'll most likely bring them on the trip as well 'cause I like how it looks with this dress, and they'll just be a great pair of sandals to wear during the day. And then also from Amazon, I purchased a beige pair of the jelly sandals, with like the cutouts that kind of look netted that are really trending this summer. I don't know if I'll bring them on my trip or not, if I'll pack them. I mean, I probably will. They'll be great for beach days, but I need to figure out what looks I want to pair them with. So, TBD on those. But those are the things I bought for the trip slash kind of in general for summer. Okay, now I'm going to talk about my airplane look. So, what am I going to wear flying from New York to Rome? I want to wear something that will look good once we land because our hotel room might not be ready when we get there, and I'll wanna be, chic in the streets, right? So, I have these silk black pants from this brand called Benroy that I discovered one summer when I was in Montauk. Great brand, by the way, very high quality, they're very nice, very comfortable pants. Obviously, comfort is first in my mind, first of all on the plane, but I like to look put together as well. So those pants are the perfect solution. I'll wear them with a white tee or tank, and then I'll also add a black or gray oversized sweater. I run cold, so I need warm things always, but especially on airplanes because they tend to be very, very cold. So definitely gonna bring a sweater. And then I'll have my sunnies, of course. Oh, this is one thing I wanna note actually, my sunglasses, my handbags, and my jewelry, I also pack all of those in my carry-on because those are my most valuable items, and God forbid. So, I'm not putting it out there that my luggage will get lost because it won't, and I put air tags in my luggage, but, you know, people have opened up my luggage before and stolen things out of it, actually. This just happened to me this past December. I had some Christmas gifts stolen out of my luggage. So, just something to think about. I carry that stuff on with me. So, I'll style myself in some sunglasses and jewelry once we land. And then for shoes, I'll just wear a Birkenstock slide. Those look great on the flight and they're closed toe. They'll keep my feet warm, some nice socks. And I always just slip them off once I'm on the plane and let my feet just be in the socks. I love a slide for traveling in general in the airports in case you do have to take off your shoes to go through security. It's just easier to have a slide on. And then going home, I'll just wear a sweatsuit because at that point I don't need to serve any more looks. But I have some really nice aloe yoga sweatsuits. I love the way their sweatsuits look. They're very polished, but also very comfortable and soft. And so I'll bring an aloe sweatsuit to wear on my flight home. And then for a travel purse, I mean, obviously I bring a large carry-on kind of duffel thing that fits all the stuff I want to bring on the plane. Then I also have my personal purse. I have this Chanel wallet on chain and it is so useful. First of all, it's very elevated looking. Obviously, it's Chanel, but it's very elevated and it looks great as an evening bag, but it's also great for a travel bag because inside it has slots for your credit card and it fits my phone and it fits my passport as well. So it's just one of those great little things to be wearing. And I'll put my ID and phone and passport in it. So that way through the airport, I can just easily access it, not have to go into my big bag but then also consolidate it in my big bag once I'm done dealing with all of the security stuff. So I definitely recommend having a wallet on chain. And that's just great too for bringing out during the day. You don't really want to have too much on you. You want to enjoy walking around, especially if you're going to Europe. I mean, walking is all I do, and sightseeing, getting a million steps, and you don't wanna be dragged down by having a big bag with you, so I definitely recommend investing in a wallet on chain. Doesn't have to be Chanel, and yeah, it's a great type of bag to have. So, that takes us to other travel tips. I mean, I've been blessed to be traveling since a young girl. Not to Europe, but, we would go back and forth to Florida a lot because my grandparents lived in Florida, and we'd also spend our summers in California with her dad. And then I started traveling to Europe in my mid-20s, haven't stopped since. And anyway, feeling very blessed that I've been able to travel so much. And with that experience, I've also come up with some tips. So, my thing is I like to get to the airport early. And a lot of guys are like the total opposite, and they'll literally show up to the airport 5 minutes before. I'm not like that, especially if it's a big trip that, going to Europe is not cheap. It costs a lot of money to do so, and the last thing I would want to do is waste that and miss the flight or something happen. So, I recommend getting to the airport early. I also am someone that I check my bags because I'm not lugging that shit around. So I need the time to check in the luggage and to go through security. And, I like to not be stressed, especially when I'm going on vacation. I want everything to be just nice and calm. And so I get there early. And then once I'm through security, I have some time. I walk around. Maybe I grab something to eat. And I can always eat. I'm just one of those people. Can always find something to eat. Um, so yeah, that is something I recommend. If you have a guy in your life or someone in your life giving you a hard time about it, say, "You know what? I'll go separate then," because it's not worth the stress of showing up late. Something to note if you're traveling in Europe and you're going from city to city, so with us, we're flying from Rome to Lisbon, is that those airlines and those flights may have a different weight limit as far as your luggage goes than, for example, the flight from JFK to Rome. You'll have more allowance as far as the weight of your luggage. This isn't always the case, but it differentiates based on airline and what kind of ticket you booked. So make sure you check that before you go so that way you can pack appropriately. This may not apply to everyone, but it definitely applies to me because, like I said, I bring fucking everything on my trips. So I need to be cognizant of the weight of my luggage and the weight limit because it's not even like they'll charge you more. They might not even let it go on the flight and then you're in and this is sounding way too personal 'cause I've done it before. You're in the Milan airport, or you're in the Naples airport and you're opening up your bag and you're taking shit out of it and you're throwing shit out because you can't bring it with you. So, been there, done that, and learned my lesson to now check that beforehand. Also, if you're a type A person and very organized, that's fantastic. I am not. You could probably guess that just by looking at me. But that that is a great quality and I admire you all, but don't feel like you need to plan out every single minute of your trip. Kind of let things happen and let the universe guide you a little bit. Like, it's nice to have an outline, and I'm definitely building a document that has a tab for shopping and different shopping areas and restaurant options, just so that way we're not spending too much time deciding things or kind of have a general idea of what we want to do and see. But by no means are we gonna plan out every minute because, especially in Europe, when you're walking these beautiful streets, you're gonna find things that you don't see on Instagram and find these beautiful stores and these little restaurants that are tucked away in a side street that doesn't even exist on a map. So definitely allow for those special moments and findings to happen because that's, the universe guiding you and showing you something that you needed to see. So, definitely don't plan out every single minute of your trip, but do your research and be prepared for the area that you're going to be in. Another tip when you're walking around these streets and you're kind of unaware of where you are, walk with confidence. And this is always in life. And this is something that my grandmother always would say to me because I moved to New York City very young. I was 18, and she always taught me to walk with confidence because you don't want to look like a target for someone coming after you or stealing something from you. This is also very common in Europe. I know someone who had their phone stolen right from their hand as they were walking around in London. That's a big thing because they can resell them for some money. So walk with confidence, keep your phone either away or have a tight enough grip on it and be aware enough of your surroundings so that way you are not a target for that kind of theft. And my last tip is to prioritize taking some nice photos and even little video clips in each area or thing that you do because they create such nice memories and you never know if you're going to be blessed enough to go back to that place, and it's just so nice to look back on, and whenever I rush something or don't prioritize getting a good photo, I always regret it, and I know that I probably like photos and videos more than most people, but it really is special to have, and, yeah, don't skip the video clip either. It's so nice to relive the moment and look at it years later. There's this one video I have of actually, I have a video of both of my grandmothers, us singing happy birthday to them. And now they're both no longer with me here physically. In spirit, they are, but physically, they're not. I have these videos forever. So definitely take some video clips and some nice photos to create beautiful memories. And with that being said, that is all I have for today. If you're going on a summer trip, I wish you safety and health and beauty and have the best time ever and really enjoy it. How lucky are we that we get to be able to go on a vacation? It's truly one of the things I enjoy in life the most and hope that I can get to continue taking these beautiful trips in my life with the people that I love. And that takes me to my outfit of the day. It is by Dish. Like I said earlier, I will link it in the show notes. It's such a great summer dress, so I really recommend it. And now I kind of want it in other colors, honestly. And I want to close every episode with an affirmation. So today's affirmation is: every trip I take is filled with joy, growth, and luxury. How to add the luxury in there, guys. I'll say it again. Every trip I take is filled with joy, growth, and luxury. And today's episode is in support of Feed the Children. It's a leading nonprofit organization. I've been a donor since about 2021, and I will continue to do so. So please go check them out. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.